Hi, everybody. How are you doing? I'm Dr. Gail, and thanks for joining me today on this channel, Skywalking with Moon. And I will be taking questions later. So just go ahead and put them in capitals, and I'll be kind of all over the place trying to answer them. But anyway, we're going to talk about the grays, which is the ETs that we normally see or we talk about most. They're the most frequent ones that we're always talking about or have or see or be around. But so we're going to talk about the grays first, and I'm going to pull up first a picture of the grays, and there's two different types as the grays and the ebens. And in the gray category, this is the eben, and this is the gray. Trying to figure out how to put my finger. So anyway, we're going to be talking about these and distinguishing between the two of them. So there's a lot that fits in the category of grays. There's all sorts of different species. There's the tall grays, the short grays, and everybody is under the perception that the short grays are only like robots. So that's not exactly right. They are beings and their bodies are made, but they do have a consciousness. So that's different than robots. Robots don't have a consciousness, and the short grays do. And so that makes a difference, but they are in a body, not a material body. So, so we'll just put that out of the way that the short grays are not just robots going and doing things. They do have a consciousness. They just don't have a organic body. So the grays, they can be called the gray, the zeta reticulus. I'm reading my notes. The Roswell grays, they are human-like. They have small bodies. They have gray, smooth skin, no genitals, enlarged hairless heads, large black eyes, long arms, fingers, and hands, and they have one thumb and 2 to 3 fingers. And now I have found that that's kind of different a lot, but what I read is that's how they describe it. But I have seen some that have actually 5 fingers, one thumb and 4 fingers. And as I said, the small grays, they have an artificial body with biological awareness. So they do have a soul and they do have individual personalities, but they do have no nose, ears. They do have lips and they don't have pupils. Now, the ebens are taller and they do have a nose, and their eyes are in front. Like the grays usually have wraparound kind of eyes, and the ebens, the eyes are in front, and ebens are more humanoid. Now, the ebens, the terminology for ebens is actually just an abbreviation, and it is ebens that stands for extraterrestrial biological entity. And that's how all of the grays were identified, or not all ETs were identified under that category until later on they individualized that name, going with this different type of gray or being. But it used to be anything that was coming in that was an ET or an extraterrestrial, they would call them ebens. But now it goes to one specific species. So that is the ebens. Let me see what else I have here to say about them. The grays and the zeta reticuli are the ones. They are, of course, as I said, grays come under a lot big terminology of a lot of different gray species, and they are part of the Orion system, and they were part of the Orion Wars. The ebens tend to be peaceful. They're not warlike. And let's see. Also, what I found fascinating was when we talk about implants and we're talking about abductions and cattle mutilation and things like that, it just seems like it's all over the place on which ones are doing that. And so is it the grays or the ebens? But it is the ebens that did crash into Roswell in New Mexico in 1947, and that was the one that they did take into captivity. That did survive. So, so they were able to study the ebens from the very beginning, and one did. I think I'm not sure how many years it survived, but it was good. 5 to 7 years that it survived here. So that is basically just a real quick thing about the grays. I'm looking down at my notes to see if I needed to tell you anything else. They are time travelers, and so they can move around, coming into, like when we see them in, like in our bedrooms or when they're passing through. Sometimes that's just some time traveling through, and they're just there for a few seconds and they're gone. So anyway, that is just a quick snapshot of the grays, the evens, zeta reticula, the et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully that can clear up a little bit of things that are going on with them. And there's a lot of information out there and a lot of shows on them. If anybody has Gaia, there's quite a few shows on the grays that you can go back, and it's people who have had firsthand experience. My experience usually are with the gray hybrids and being on the gray hybrid ship. So when I'm talking about gray hybrids, they were not just gray, they were mixed. Like they could have been a gray mixed with humans, which was the common, or grays mixed with a Palladian or a Turian. So that's what I was used to dealing with, was on the spaceship, were actually the gray hybrids. And there has been a battle between the grays, the reptilians, and the Nordic, on who is the one that should be here and the one that should be controlling all our genetics, because all of them have had a hand in it and all of them have arrived at different times. So there is a battle about that. So anyway, all right. Well, I'm going to look at some questions and then say hello to some people that have come in here. And let's see who else, who is here. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for all the new subscribers. I've gotten a lot of new subscribers, and it came from a lot of it came from my interview with the life after life NDE experience. And if y'all want to go take a look at that, I had a 30-minute interview there, and apparently a lot of people have been seeing it and have been subscribing, which I really appreciate, because this is a safe place to talk about these things. And people do struggle finding a place to be able to talk about their experiences and having it normalized, because we are told we're crazy when we're talking about these things, or dismiss it. It didn't happen. I don't know what you saw, what happened, but anyway, this is a safe place to talk about it, because we are like-minded and all of us are having experiences. So let me see who all is here. Let's see. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Michelle. Hey, did some say shenanigans? Hey, Earth Mama. Let's see who else is here. Hey, White Dragon. Hey, Son of Watt. Hey, M. Hey, Starfish Jenny. Hey, Isabel. Hi, Keela. Hey, Debbie at Shifting Veils. I saw you and Nancy Jean yesterday. You were great. You did a great job. Hey, Suzanne. Hey, Hypnicity. Hey, R. Santa. Hey, Laurie. Hey, Suzanne. Hey, Sally. Thanks for joining us today. Hey, Patricia. Hey, Trancing with Spirit. Hey, Chris MK. Let me start your question here. I hope I didn't skip any. Probably I did. If I skipped any or didn't acknowledge you or whatever, it's not on purpose. It's just that I'm trying to watch the chat, do the show, do readings, and going back and forth. Sometimes you can kind of get lost up in your readings and miss a lot of things. So don't take it personally if you're not picked or you're missed over or whatever. Just don't take it personally. And because I'm not doing it on purpose, or if I miss you, whatever, it's nothing like that. I usually try to go in order, but after I get a few questions started, then it's all over the place. It can be, I'm just looking for questions at that time. So let me go up here and see what I have starred, and we can go ahead and get started with a few questions. So we got Rebecca here. Let's say she came in really early. Hey, Rebecca, my guides have told me I would meet a couple of people that are my galactic family, Sirius B. It may be in 2025. What does my galactic family feel about this timing? Thank you so much, Dr. Gail. Okay. Rebecca, I immediately get that you already have contact with them. And you were going to meet a couple of people, and I'm questioning, were you told you were going to meet them in like 3D? I'm getting that you have already met them, but you're going to be like recognizing them later or remembering them is more what it is than actually meeting them. Um, so let me just check on that. That's what I'm getting is that you've already been working with them. Yes, you have, Rebecca. So you're already working with them, and I think that you're going to just start remembering what you're doing. I think that's what they're talking about. I think it's just that you're going to be remembering what you're doing or seeing what you're doing and being able to write it down and being able to tell others what you're doing. That's what I'm getting, Rebecca. Are you here, Rebecca? Because my question is I don't think it's that you're going to be seeing them actually in the 3D. I don't think they're going to be physically showing up in front of your face or in your house. I think you're going to be like during meditation or sleeping or dreaming or in the just in the beginning of the dream state. I think you're going to be seeing them and knowing that they're there and acknowledging them. So um, that's what I get, Rebecca. If you're here, you put your question in so early, you might have put your question in and went off to work or whatever. I'm not sure what it is that you're doing, but anyway, there you go, Rebecca. Hopefully you'll be able to see it later. Okay. All right. Here's Michelle. Will I be meeting any of my galactic family in 2025? This we got a theme going on here. Will I be meeting any of my galactic family in 2025? Thank you, Gail. Okay, Michelle. Um, uh, I don't know, Michelle, if you're going to be meeting them in 2025. No, you're not. Um, and I'm not sure why they're saying no. Okay, I'm getting that you're gonna actually be meeting the elementals in 2025. I don't know, Michelle, if you work with the elementals, but that's what I'm getting is that that's what you're gonna be actually be meeting. And I'm not sure if you're connected to Earth like that, but that's what I'm seeing that you're gonna be getting. And so I'm seeing that you need to be out in nature and so you can meet them. And I'm seeing they're actually showing me the fairies, and somehow or another you're connected to the fairies. Um, so Michelle, I'm putting down some cards here. Michelle, so that's what I'm seeing is it's not going to be the ETs, it's the elementals that you're going to be getting in contact with. And it looks like you have an attachment to Earth. And it looks like to me that you're going to be walking down, they're showing me you're walking down trails and you'll see a fairy in a tree. But that's just what they're showing me as an example. And are you here, Michelle? Are you really connected with Earth? I feel like Oh, you're trying to meet the elementals. Okay. All right. That's good. And that's where you need to be going right now is trying to meet the elementals. And they're showing me going out on the trails and just really connecting to the trees because they're showing me that that the trees are essential or your connection to the trees and then the elementals and the earth and everything. And I don't know, Michelle, if you've looked at being a shaman or doing shamanic courses or work, but I'm seeing you really connecting with Earth that way. And I don't know what kind of work you're doing. Hey, Danny, thanks for joining us today. So I don't know what kind of work you do, but that looks like a big direction for you is to connect to Earth, connect to the fairies and the elementals. And that seems to be really important for you. So I hope that means a lot. And that's a lot for you to be being asked to do is going on the trails or getting out in the woods and connecting with them and doing shamanism. And that's a lot. But all right, Rebecca, I see you. I see that you're here and you're welcome. I hope that message resonated with you. Um, and you're saying that you had a dream of traveling to another planet with lots of animals. Okay. Well, it looks like to me you're already starting to remember. So there you go. I think you're going to remember more and more and more. So, all right. Well, let's go to the next one. So, Michelle, I don't know if you're already doing some shamanic work now, but it looks like to me you're just really connected to Earth. And here's Earth Mama. Let's see. My niece lives in Tennessee. In the last 2 months, she has seen two UFOs and a black airplane suspended in the sky. The last one, the black airplane suspended, frightened her. She wants to know why. Well, Earth Mama, I usually try not to do readings on other people. Like I do it on the people who are actually here in the chat or put a question in and connect to them. But like the second down, like your niece or I usually try not to do as much because I connect better with that person who's asking the question and can get more information that way. When it's like secondhand or third hand, you're not sure if you're getting your um, your information. I mean, I'm not seeing anything wrong with it, and I don't see that this playing, but I'm not sure that this information, how accurate it would be with me not actually um, connecting with her directly. So I don't see that there's anything to worry about with that. But again, I'm just not real sure unless I'm actually connecting with her and I can feel her energy and figure that out. And I'm sorry, Earth Mommy, Mama, that I really just don't want to put something out there wrong and tell her, oh, she doesn't have to worry about it when I'm I don't know if she does or not. So if she can come in sometime and put her question in, then I can connect with her and find out about it. And Michelle, you're saying yes, shaman. Yes, class is coming. Hands on healer. Well, good. I'm glad I didn't give you a whole lot of work there to do, and I'm glad you're going ahead. Already on that path. I'm so glad to see and hear that. So, but anyway, Earth Mama, if you can get her in here and let me feel her energy connected to that, I would feel a lot better about that. Okay. All right. Let's see. Hey, did someone say shenanigans? I just love your name. Dr. Gail, Skywalking Moon, if you take any questions, could you ask our galactic families how best we can move forward as a family and a country in spite of recent events? We could use some advice. Well, I was really giving a lot of advice um, before, and it's been months I've been giving the same advice. Um, uh, shenanigans. I've been saying to pull yourself out of it and become an observer instead of being in it. Detach yourself from your social media, detach yourself from the news, quit watching everything and everything that's happening, every moment that's happening, absorbing all that energy, absorbing everything that's going on with that. And if you can detach and become an observer, it's a lot easier to deal with it. So and this is true for coming up with your family and dealing in the holidays and dealing with your family is pull yourself up as an observer. Try to go up above and look at what's happening and not be immersed in that energy. And for all of us being empaths and star seeds, that's something that's kind of like a survival skill for us is that we need to pull ourselves out and look at it from above and not be immersed in it. So that's my advice. And I've been saying that for several months now. But it is a way for empaths, especially, to deal with that. And as I said, it's going to be coming up with your families. You're going to be dealing with it, and you're probably dealing with it every day now. But when you're talking to somebody or talking to a group, just pretend like you're sitting up there above them, just looking at that conversation happening. And instead of being like in your body, having that conversation and just feeling every emotion that there's going on and, a little bit of anger and you're upset, if you can just become an observer of what's happening and look down at that conversation that's happening, you're just going to go, wow, that I'm not sure why I put so much energy into that. So that's my advice to you, shenanigans. So I hope that helps, but it is a hard thing to learn how to do, but it is something that's important. to learn how to do. Hey, Earth Mother, she works, so I asked her if I could ask. I gave her your channel information. Yeah, Earth Mama, I would just rather connect right with her. I just don't want to. I just don't want to sit here because I don't feel like it's negative. I just don't want to give that information, and then all of a sudden I'm connected to her energy, and I'm going, oh no, that's something she needs to worry about. But so anyway, there you go, Earth Mama. Okay, let me see who's next. It's like white dragon. There are gray synthos as well as other species. I have more human-like of them on my ship. I replaced the gray ones with okay. All right, you're just making a statement. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, there's a lot to the grays and how we have categorized anybody that has gray color skin or looks like that's what we say they're grays, which is all we had in the beginning to go on. But there are many, many, many species of grays, and they're basically in the Orion system, but there are many different types of them. Okay, let's see. Hey, Em, are men in black actually a type of gray? Well, that's an interesting question, Em. And it's a personally interesting question for me because I've recently have been working with these seven-dimensional beings that look like grays that are dressed in black, like the men in black. So, but they say they're not the men in black, and also the difference is they're only like 2 feet tall. They're tiny little beings. But let me see, are the men in black actually a type of gray? I'm getting yes, they are. That they are a type of gray, and I'm getting that they're the tall grays. Um, and I don't know that we have a label on them on what type of gray. I'm getting a humongous yes on this. I don't think we have labeled or identified that species, but it is a specific species of grays, and we don't even have a label on that yet, which that's extremely interesting. Thanks for asking that question because I didn't even know that. Um, and that might be something that we really want to take a more of a look at. But yes, but as I said, I personally that affects me because of the beings that I have met that look like little bitty men in black that are grays. So thank you, Il. But apparently we don't even know the name of that species yet. So let's see what else we have here. Okay. All right. Looks like, hey, Suzanne, Thomas, my gray extraterrestrial, have a message and curious to what he looks like. Thank you. Um, well, I get that he's a tall gray, Suzanne, and he's very thin, super thin, but most of them are. And he just looks like he doesn't, he's not wearing a uniform or anything. I just see him and his body. And he's actually telling me he's not just a gray, he is a hybrid. And let me see what he's a hybrid, gray human hybrid. And so, but he looks gray. He looks like a tall gray, tall, thin. He does have 5 fingers or 4 fingers, one thumb. And let me see what message he has for you. He said, he's going, relax. It's going to be okay. Relax. And I'm not sure what this is all about, but he's telling you that to relax. He's saying, I don't know what's going on in your life. I don't know if it's about the elections or what, but he's telling you to relax and it's going to be okay. And that's what he just keeps saying over and over again because he keeps using his hands, relax, relax. It's going to be okay. So there you go, Suzanne. Oh, you're having election results and issues with your daughter. Okay. That probably is it. Let me see. Yeah, that's it. And I'm even getting that your daughter, relax, it's going to be okay. So he's showing me back off from being in her face and just relax and watch it play out. be there to support her, is what I'm getting. So there you go, Suzanne. Okay, well, what is this? Hi, I haven't met you. Okay, this is near as I'm not going to even say the rest of it because I don't want to be blocked on YouTube. I had a gray shadow being in front of my room last year. It came between me and a friend when we were sat in my front room. Was it a gray or shadow being, and what was it doing? Okay, you had a gray. It was a gray shadow being in your front room when you and your friend were there. It would be interesting to. Did your friend see it? Or was it you that saw it? Let me see. It was a gray, and it was just passing through. As I said, they're time travelers, and that's what sometimes we see them when they pass through, or they all of a sudden stop, like in a room or our bedrooms or whatever. Sometimes they're there for a reason, but there is a lot of times that your friend saw it too. Okay. But that's what it was. They were just passing through. They didn't have any kind of agenda. And I think you shocked them as much as it shocked you. So it was okay. They were just passing through. So there you go. All right, let me see what I have next. All right, this is Keisha Jones. Hey, what is the low bass tone in my left ear? It keeps going in a repetitive pattern all day and all night. Oh, wow. You have a repetitive pattern. There's so many of us who have ringing in the ears and different things that we're getting information coming in from our ET family that we're connected to, or the ETs that you're working with that you're connected to. And that's what's going on with you. I see that you're getting downloads of information that's coming in as a pattern. And let me see if you have an implant. Yeah, you have an implant, which is a good implant. Don't worry about it. It doesn't need to be removed. It's being where they're allowing you to have direct connection to information coming in. And this is going to be important in the future. It takes a lot to integrate this information coming into you, into your brain, your body, to be able to even comprehend it later. So, anyway, there you go. So that's why you're having that repetitive pattern all day and all night. And that is what's going on. Now, you can always ask them to turn it down if it's really bothering you, or just kind of, or they're just relaxed, just know you're getting information. Me, when my left ear rings, and whenever I'm getting a lot of information, it really cranks up ringing. When I used to go on rescue missions, both ears would crank up ringing. So it is a direct connection to your ET family or the ones that you're working with. Okay, let's see who else I got here. Okay, let's see. Okay, I got you. Oh, wait a minute. Suzanne, I did, it was M that was last one. Okay, there you go, Suzanne. Thomas, my great success, will have a message and curious to what I already did get you, Suzanne. That's right. So I'm going to Patricia. Hello, Dr. Gail. Any messages from my Palladian Gray family? Okay, well, I'm going to pull a card for you out of the Starseed Oracle deck, and I'm going to pull, see what the message is, as they directed me to this deck. Let's see what we have here. Star Ancestors, Patricia. It says hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. All right, it looks like you're connected. These are the pyramids that are right here. And what they're asking you is that you connect to their star ancestors, and that you need to look a little deeper. And what I'm getting more of is they're asking you to have a more developed practice. And what they're showing me, Patricia, and I don't know if this is the case with you, but what they're showing me is for you to have a routine, like a routine when you meditate, like maybe the same time of day or morning or night, whenever it's convenient for you, that you develop a routine on your connection so they know, like, when you're on, when you're willing, when you're ready to connect to it. Besides when you're dreaming or sleeping, they're wanting you to have a practice that they know what time you're accepting their information. It's almost like they're wanting to connect to you more, Patricia. I don't know if this resonates with you or what, but it looks like they're wanting you to develop more of the connection with either whatever way you meditate. It doesn't have to be meditation like sitting in like a guru and meditating. It can be as simple as taking a walk, working in a garden, whatever it that you connect with them. They're wanting you to develop a routine so they know, almost like when your sign's out, like, I'm open now, come on in. And they're wanting you to develop that routine, Patricia. I hope that makes sense to you. All right, let me see who else is here. All right. Hey, Chris. Is my gray hybrid Hoffman part human or other species? Oh, good question, Chris. Good question. Let me see if your gray hybrid is part human. No, he's not part human. Lyran, part Lyran. He's saying he's doing the cat lick of his paw. Little comic there, Chris, but he is gray and Lyran and has a good sense of humor. So there you go, Chris. Okay. And let's see, White Dragon, are the tall whites the only ones working with the U.S. government? I don't know. I don't even want to really go into that, White Dragon, because you hear so many things, the reptilians, the tall whites, and I'm going to say all of them probably have some kind of working. Well, it's like all our leaders in all countries know about them. So to and I'm not. I think each species, like if you're going to say tall whites are working with the government, well, it might not be the U.S. government, but it might be another government that they're working with. So, so that's just a really that would take a lot more time to get into, like asking which. Actually, what I'm hearing is the tall whites are with India. So I think more that is how it works than just like. I mean, I'm sure I'm assuming you're just asking about the U.S. government, but they are. I think a lot of them are with the government. It's just not necessarily the U.S. government. Okay, all right. Let's see who else we got here. Oh gosh. Here we go. So I'm going to see what I've got starred here, and then I have to go and look to star some more. Okay. Hey, Ginger Sky, thanks for joining us today. Hey, Janie, thanks for being here. Let's see. I'm looking for some questions now. Okay, Sally's asking if she has an implant. Okay, let's see if Sally has an implant. Sally, I'm getting no. Sally, you don't have an implant. Your connection is more, again, you're somebody else's more connection with elementals, but it looks like the grays are involved too, but you do not have an implant. It looks like to me yours is more of a earth connection, and I'm getting yes on this. So there you go, Sally, you do not have an implant. So let's see who else is here. Okay, I got that one. Oh, Suzanne. Oh, you feel like breaking down and crying. You've gotten too involved in all the emotions and everything too. And it's easy to do because we're empaths. But as I said, try to pull yourself out and look at it, be an observer instead of being all involved in everything that's going on. It really, really does help. I've been practicing that since they showed that to me, and it's the ETs that showed me how to do that several years ago, and it has so benefited me. Even with your family dynamics changes because you're all of a sudden observing it instead of getting all into these things, and it really does help if you start trying to think of yourself as sitting up above, looking at what's happening and what the dynamics are and what they're saying and what you're saying. It really changes the way you look at things. And it changes the energy, big time changes the energy. Okay, let me see who else I've got here. Sorry, I think I've gone through my starred ones. Hey, Nancy, thanks for joining us today. Let's see, who have we got here? A new dawn. During meditation, I was on board a ship and sat with a blue-skinned, bald lady who held my hand and felt she was transferring energy to me. Am I related to her? Oh, that sounds so sweet. And the energies feel so sweet. And it feels like it's an Arcturian that you were with. Let me see. Yeah, it was an Arcturian. And was she transferring energy? Yes, she was transferring energy and knowledge. But that just feels so sweet. You're so lucky, and you don't that you had that experience. And oh, she's saying she was also um, teaching, and she was comforting you because of teaching. And I almost feel like you were learning how to fly that spaceship. Is what I'm seeing, and I'm getting a huge yes on that. And she was teaching you how to fly that spaceship. She was transferring energy, transferring knowledge, and also when you are learning how to fly a spaceship, you do connect to the spaceship. So she's showing me all that you're having this big learning curve doing all that. How exciting! How exciting is that? But yeah, she was sweet, and she's an Arcturian, and she is kind of taking you under her wing, teaching it. Mine that taught me how to fly a spaceship was a gold being, and he had shimmery gold skin. Called his name is Monto, and he was very important to me during my whole journey doing all that. So you're very lucky, very lucky. So there you go. Let's see what is Janie. Oh, let's see. Okay, this is Diane. I hit the wrong one. Okay. Okay. Last year, I saw an extremely tall, thin, white entity that walked at the foot of my bed into the wall. Next day, I woke up from my nap, and it was over me. I couldn't tell if it was good or not. Cloaked. Okay, I immediately got it was a healing, Diane. That's immediately what I got. They were there healing you and then coming back to check on you. Yes, you are getting a healing, and that's very common for them to do because they do stay connected to us, and they've been doing this for years with you, years and years and years. You're just able now, your vibration has come up enough that where you can see them, and I'm getting this humongous yes on this, that you're just able now to start seeing them, recognizing that they're there. And so that was a healing that you were getting, and the next time was them just checking up on you. So another good thing that happened to somebody. Let's see, what's son of what I have? There have been about 16,000, 111 ET groups who have worked with the U.S. government. Yeah, I believe that. I mean, I just quit. There are so many that I've met that it's so hard now for me to put them in categories. You know, when I first started this channel, I could put all of them in different categories, and this is what they look like, this is what they do. I have had to give up on that because there are so many different ones. You go to a different planet and you're thinking, oh, it's the Pleiadians that live here. Well, they're in the Pleiades, so they're called Pleiadians. We call them Pleiadians. They don't call themselves that. But it's just unbelievable how many there are. Oh, you're welcome, and you don't. Yeah, so that's what Ginger Sky has. There was an alien in human form that was overseeing them. Then next, I saw the alien in some health distress. Oh no! And this alien told his colleague, who was helping him, give her the technology. Well, that was something. Yes. So it sounds like Ginger Sky, you must be a healer. So it sounds like to me you were doing some healing on those ETs. You know, there's so many different things that they have equipment wise that we can heal. I mean, there's um, a whole lot of different things that I've been exposed to for healing and finding out how important, you know, color therapy, stone therapy, your chakra system, all these things, how important it is for us. And also I've been giving, you know, equipment that almost looks like Star Trek, where you put it over their head and it almost changes their chemicals or their cells or something, which that's something fascinating also I've seen. So there's a lot of different things that they have that I have been very fortunate to be able to experience. Okay, Rossi, has the disclosure timeline shifted or delayed? Well, Rossi, originally when I started all this, the timeline was 2024. So it has been delayed since then. And I am not getting, I've tried not to really put anything, any merit into what their timeline, because they say it changes. We're always changing. We're always changing. So things change. So, you know, I've heard it's going to be before 2030, but I am going to just say, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I mean, if I want to ask them, but just don't put a lot of stock into this timeline. Let me see if it's going to be before 2030. Yes. And of course, the other time I've heard is 2026, which I get a yes on that. But it just really depends on us on how we, um, you know, progress on how when we're ready to actually accept them. So 2026 right now, Rossi, but just don't put your hat on that one. No, don't do that because I'm not real sure. As I said, my original in 2020, I was told 2024. So a lot of things has happened and a lot of things could happen before 2026, 2030. So just depending on what happens to us or what we do. Let's see what else we have. Oh, Stacy, you said yes, raising your frequency. Yeah. Um, Ginger Sky, you're wondering if that's reversing age. So what? So from what I described above, I was wondering if this technology above reversing age or something. I'm not so sure it's actually reversing age. I think it's and the word I'm hearing is palliative. It's more for a palliative thing for you to age, like making it easier for you to age and age in the human body. Because you know they look at us and our bodies. We have it such a short time. But I'm hearing palliative. That means that they're just making it easier for you to be in your body. Is what I'm hearing, Ginger Sky. Okay, let's see what else I have here. I'm going to take one last question if I can find it. Okay. All right. Okay, so you're welcome for answering your question. Let's see, what is this, Ginger Sky? There was an alien inhuman. Oh, I've already done that. Okay, yeah, my bad. Because it looks like I might have gotten. I'm sure I have missed somebody. But I'm looking for that one last question. Okay. All right, everybody. I don't think I'm going to be finding that question right offhand. So I'm going to go ahead and just end it here. Thanks, everybody, for joining us, joining me and joining everybody in chat. Thanks, everybody, with your help, your making this a safe place. And thank you for the new subscribers. I appreciate it. And I will be back on Saturday, and that'll be with Terry, where we'll be talking about ETs and taking questions then. So thanks, everybody. We'll see y'all later. All right. Bye bye.